Hello dear students. So today once again we are going to discuss one very important chapter in our business studies, that is chapter number 4, business services. Basically business services that comes under the tertiary sector, that is of the service sector. Okay, as business is required just to fulfill the human needs, similarly we are required business services just to provide movement to different business organization, just to facilitates all the business organizations. In the absence of business services, we can't imagine about the existence of any business. Okay, so let's discuss the things which we are going to discuss in this chapter. So first here we will find out the meaning and characteristics of services, and we have to differentiate services from goods, how the services are different from the goods. Next we have to classify different types of the business services and explain the concept of e-banking. What is e-banking, what is their concept and all. Then we have to identify and classify different types of insurance or the insurance policies. And finally we have to describe different types of warehouses as well as their needs. Okay, so let's start with the common thing. So just for the starting up of this chapter, first we have to discuss over the term services, and second the very important term, that is of goods. As we know, a good is a physical product capable of being delivered to a purchaser and involves the transfer of ownership from seller to customer. Goods are also generally used to refer to commodities or the items or all types except services involved in trade or commerce. So once when we talk about the goods, so for the business organization it can be in the term of commodities or the business article or the business item. So all the goods have physical appearance that we can touch, that we can move one to another place. And the very important thing, the ownership of the goods can be transferred. Once when you will purchase goods from any shop or somewhere else, then definitely ownership will be transferred from seller to customer. Okay, so similarly, just to just for doing any business activities, along with the goods we need different type of the services, and services have no physical appearance that we need to feel. Okay, and services that is very essential, that is intangible activities, and all the services provide satisfaction of wants and are not necessarily linked to the sale of a product or another services. And services can't be sold out, services can be served. Okay, in in any business organization we just provide services, we rendered services, but we can't sell services. Just like if we when we get sick, we used to go to the doctors, and we just enjoy the services provided by the doctor. Okay, doctor just serve us. They used to write some medicines. Okay, they prescribed us to use some medicines. For their services we used to pay them fee. Okay, but the ownership of services can't be transferred. So then, so we have some qualities of the services. First, and the very important thing, services, they are intangible activities. So that's why we can't touch services, and they are just experimental, and that's why we can just uh, feel the services provided by the service provider. Just like one cannot taste a doctor's treatment, or we can't touch entertainment. Okay, we can only just experienced it. Okay, so then after next we have inconsistency. There is no standard, but once when we purchase goods, so that we can compare with another goods, but services can't be compare, because service provider, they are not consist towards their services, what they are actually providing. Okay, and different customers have different appearance and they have different experience towards the same services. Just like if I am using say a network of any cellular company, so maybe possible I am enjoying that service of that company, but see same time another person, they may be not enjoying that facility. Okay, so service provider, they are not consist, it means they are not fixed that they are going to provide same services every time, and it depends on the customer's demand, their expectations. Okay, next we have inseparability. Another important characteristics of services is the simultaneous activities of production and consumptions being performed. This makes the production and consumption of services seems to be inseparable. As we know, services are produced when they are required. We can't produce them in advance. Just like if we are ill or if we are sick, then we will go to the doctor. Okay, before getting sick we can't reach to the doctor. So when services will be required, at that time it will be provided. So that's why production and consumption both are same, both are separate, they move simultaneously. उसको हम अलग अलग नहीं कर सकते हैं कि हमने पहले सर्विस को बना लिया, अब हम उसको बाद में एंजॉय करेंगे. Okay, just like once when we go to the cinema hall just for the entertainment and all, so what scene is there, whatever things will be presented in front of you, at that time we will see that and we will enjoy. ओके ऐसा नहीं कि हम पहले एंजॉय कर लेते हैं उसके बाद में क्या होगा, वीडियो हमारे सामने आएगा, या वीडियो हम देख लेते हैं उसके बाद में हम एंजॉय करेंगे. दोनों चीज़ें साथ में चलती हैं. Then after next and very important thing, that is of inventory. Inventory, it means stock. As we know, services, they are produced or they are generated as the time of requirement. It can't be produced or in advance or stored. Okay, so the inventory or the stock is not possible for any kind of tangible or intangible services. Okay, so services are perishable and providers can at pace store some associated goods but not the services itself. Okay, same thing is there. So we can store goods which has physical appearance and which can be produced in advance, but services can't be stored. So next we have involvement. One of the most important characteristics of services is the participation of the customer in the service delivery process. As when you consume any kind of goods or whenever you purchase, just like if we are going to buy some vegetables, so we will purchase that vegetable. We are not going to um, grow that particular vegetables, we just purchase and consume. Okay, but for the services we need equal participation. Okay, just like we need equal involvement. Once when you will go for treatment to any doctor, so whatever treatment, whatever taste will be done by the doctor, you needed to take equal participation. Okay, that is called involvement. So in the services we need 100% involvement, and for the goods that is not required. These were the natures of the services. And then after we have to discuss over the difference in between services and the goods. So services, as we have seen, on the basis of nature, services, an activity or the process, watching a movie in a cinema hall, that thing can be the part of services. And what about the goods? A physical object. Okay, a video CD of a video cassette of any movie, it can be goods, but watching movie in cinema hall or somewhere else will be the service, that is of the nature. Types. Okay, all the goods, they are homogeneous. Okay, they are almost similar in the taste, in the colors or in the size, but the services are heterogeneous, they are not similar. Okay. Intangibility, as we know, all the services are intangibles, but all the goods are tangible. Just like treatment done by the doctor, that is intangible activities, but medicine prescribed by doctor, that is a tangible, that is of goods. Inconsistency, different customers have different demands. Okay, just like the mobile service providers. So customer needs according to their requirement. So maybe possible that service provider is not in the position to serve each and every customer. But in the goods, different customers getting standardized demand and which can fulfill their needs. Just like if we have iPhone, okay, and we our my friend has some different Android mobile, but if we have put same of the same company, so definitely we will enjoy same type of the facility. Maybe possible if I am talking to someone else, my connectivity is good, or मेरे friend का जो connectivity it can be break. Okay. Then inseparability, that we have seen in the services, that is not possible, but in case of goods it can be. Inventories, services can't be stored, but goods can be stored and it can be produced in advance. And involvement in the services, we need 100% involvement, because if we are involved, then only we can enjoy that services. But in the goods, involvement is not required. Okay. Next, so then after, we have to discuss the different type of the services. Basically all the services available in the world can be classified into three parts. First is called business services, social services and personal services. All the services which are provided by service provider to any business organization, that is called business services. Okay. And social services, all the social services which are required or which are provided for the social satisfaction or to the societies or the community. The next, personal services, which any individual enjoyed personally, that comes under the personal services. Let's discuss over the business services. Business services are those services which are used by business enterprises for the conduction of their activities. Okay, that is a kind of service which are provided by the different organizations just to conduct the business activities, just like banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing and communication services. Okay, most probably all these services are enjoyed by the business organization, that's why it's called business services. Next we have social services. Social services are those services which are generally provided to achieve social goals or the social objectives. These social goals may be to improve the standard of living for weaker section of society, to provide educational services to their children, or to provide healthcare and hygienic conditions in slum areas. In most of the industrial belt where we have big industries, so that industry or that organization try to provide basic facilities to their nearby areas, just like the education facility, hygiene facility, better medical treatment facilities and all. Okay, which helps to increase the living standard of the poor people or the weaker section of the society. The next, last we have personal services. Personal services are those services which are experienced differently by different customers. These services can be consistent in nature. They will differ depending on upon the service provider. So all the services which personally we enjoy, that is called personal services. Just like uh, insurance, okay, personal insurance, car services and all, that is of the personal. So here we are talking about the business, okay, and here we have to discuss over the business services. So social services and personal services, it was just for the knowledge purpose, and in this chapter we are going to continue with the business services. Business services, it means you have to remember the names of all the business services, that is banking, insurance, transportations, warehousing and communication services. So here in today's class we are going to discuss over the business services, and first we will discuss about the banking only. So business services are those services that we have already seen. So basically we have five business services as banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing and communication. Okay, so we will continue with the banking services first. Okay, so in the banking services, first we have to discuss over the commercial banks. In our nearby, whatever banks you have seen, that is a kind of commercial bank. Okay, most probably they all are commercial bank. But we have different types of the banks. We have basically four different types of the banks: commercial banks, cooperative banks, specialized bank and central banks. So let's discuss one by one. So commercial banks are an important institution of the economy for providing institutional credit to its customer. Because first, before that, we have to know what is bank. So bank is a kind of any kind of institute or the organization which provide financial assistance or which fulfill the financial needs of any individual or the business organization. The just like uh, most of in the business organizations, we are depend on the banks just to collect our payment, need to clear our payment or to make the payment. Okay, just to collect the amount of check or the draft, or many more activities are there which are performed by different banks in different ways. So let's discuss over the commercial bank first. What is commercial bank, then after corporation bank, then after specialized bank, then after central bank. So let's commercial banks. Commercial banks are the institutions dealing in money. Oh, definitely. All the banks, they deal in money. These are governed by Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949, and according to it, banking means accepting deposit of money from the public for the purpose of lending or investment. So if we are talking about the commercial banks, most probably all the commercial banks, they are governed by the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949, and according to that act they have defined the term bank, and they said bank is an financial institutes which accept public deposits and just lend the money. Okay, and bank also provide safety to the safety of the of valuables. Okay, safety of valuables, just like in the bank we can keep our jewelries or important documents in their locker. Okay, so bank also provides such a type of the facilities. So basically we have two types of the commercial banks. First is public sector commercial bank, second one is private sector commercial banks. So what is public sector bank? So public sector banks are those in which the government has a major stake. Okay, as because in the previous chapters, in previous topics, we have already discussed about the private sectors and the public sector. So all the organizations, it may be the bank or any kind of the business organizations in which more than 51% shares kept by the central or the state government. So here in our country, there are 20 nationalized public sector bank like SBI, State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank. Okay, these are the part of public sector. Then we have Private sector banks, they are private sector banks are owned, managed and controlled by private promoters, as we know, and they are free to operate as per market forces. Okay, so market में जो conditions होता है, terms होता है, which has been given by that IBR Act or the centralized bank of India, they need to follow it and accordingly they can function. And private sector banks represented by most probably SDFC, ICICI, Kotak Mahindra, Jammu and Kashmir Bank. So many banks are there. Okay. So it's clear. Next, we have cooperative banks. As by the name cooperative, any kind of bank which are established just to provide the financial assistance of the group of the people. Okay, so most probably they provide credit facilities at very cheap rate. Most probably such a type of banks we can see in the rural areas. Okay, basically they provide agricultural financing supports. That's why they are called cooperative banks. Then we have a specialized bank. A specialized bank, it means they are specific, they do specific activities. Basically they are of foreign exchange banks, industrial banks, development banks, export import banks. Okay, lot of. Okay, if we are talking about the foreign exchange bank, so that any kind of bank which provide the exchange facility, it means we can convert, we can change our currency with the currency of any other country, then they are called exchange bank. Industrial bank, any kind of bank which provide financial assistance to the industries, that comes under the industrial bank. Then after we have development, a bank which provide financial assistance for the development activities, that is development bank. Or once when you will do any kind of export and import activities, in that case we have some specialized bank. Okay, and they do their activities accordingly. These banks provide financial aids to the industries, heavy turnkey projects and foreign trade and all. Okay, then next and last we have central bank. The central bank of any country supervise, control and regulates the activities of all the commercial bank of the countries. How many banks are there? They all are comes under the central bank. Okay, and each and every country have their own central bank. It also acts as a government banker, and they are called banker of banks, or they are called father of all the banks. Or in our country we have RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of our country. All the banks, it may be the SBI, PNB, BOB, okay, they all are regulated or controlled by the RBI. So just remember every time, the Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of our country, because this bank has only the right to make any kind of rule or regulation regarding the interest, regarding the collection, regarding the loan and all. And they decide how much currency we have to print. Okay, without the order of central banks, any kind of bank or any government, even government can't printed currencies papers. Then next we have to discuss over the facilities provided by banks. So basically all the banks, all the commercial banks, they accept deposits. Accept deposit, it means once when if we have surplus amount or the saving amount, that we can deposit with the bank. Okay, so banks accept that thing. And lending of funds, lending of funds, it means giving any kind of credit facility. If we need any kind of credit facility, then definitely we will move to the bank. So bank also provide that facility. Okay, check facility, and you must be aware about the, you are aware about the checks, that is a kind of written documents. And on the basis of check we can make payment or we can collect payment. Okay, Next we have remittance of fund, and this is very important, but the silent functions of all the commercial banks, they provide the facility of fund transfer. If we want to transfer fund from Janjgir to somewhere else, just like in Raipur, so we don't have to go Raipur. Okay, with the help of bank we can easily transfer the funds. Okay, we have bank orders, we have pay orders, we have mail transfer, we have multiple options regarding the transfer of funds. Then allied services, in addition to other above functions, bank also provide allied services just like bill payment. If you want, on your basis, bank can pay your bills. Locker facility that we have already discussed. Okay, underwriting services, it means they can underwrite, it means before the maturity of check they can provide you finance. Okay, and they can pay your insurance premium as per your standing instructions, and they also helps their customers to invest their savings in the share market, and after that they used to collect the dividend, that is part of profit earned on shares. So these are the different facilities which most probably all the banks used to provide to their customers. एंड नेक्स्ट एंड द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, आज के टाइम पे अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, दैट इज़ ऑफ ई बैंकिंग. सो बैंकिंग, वी आर अवेयर अबाउट द बैंकिंग इट मीन्स डिपॉजिटिंग ऑफ मनी, withdrawing of money, transferring of money, okay, or making payments and all, that comes under the banking. So what is e-banking? So the meaning of e, that is related to electronic, it means using of internet. When we do any kind of banking transaction with the help of internet, then it is considered as e-banking. Okay, and in the present scenario, so e-banking, that is a very new concept, and that is a very vital concept. So the latest wave in information technology is internet banking. It is a part of virtual banking and another delivery channel of customers. In simple terms, internet banking means any user with a PC, with a computer, and a browser can get connected to the bank's website to perform any of the virtual banking function. It means we can do all sort of the banking transactions without the physical appearance in the bank. So that's why it's called virtual involvement. Okay, so along with this we have much more facilities under the e-banking, that like in e-banking, that is a service provided by many banks. Most probably now in the present days, most probably all the banks are engaged in providing e-services. They allow a customer to conduct different banking transactions. What we can do, just like we can manage our savings, we can check our accounts, we can apply for loan through online, or we can we can pay our bills, okay, by the using of internet. And even we can use mobile or the telephone, okay, just for all the transactions. And the range of services offered by e-banking are just like EFT, that is of electronic fund transfer, automated teller machine, and point of sales, it means now in the different shops you have seen the swipe machine, okay, that is called point of sales, electronic data interchange, and credit card electronics or digital cash. So these are the facility which most probably all the banks used to provide, which comes under the e-banking. So here, benefits of e-banking. E-banking provides 24 hours, 365 days a year services to the customers of the bank. If we have anything, any work, just like if we want to withdraw some money from bank, then for that we need to go there, and we have to fill form, then after we have to stand in queue, then after our work will be done. So but with the help of e-banking, easily we can do all the things without the physical presence in the bank. Okay, and it works according to our requirement, and we don't have to move according to banks. Okay, it includes a sense of financial discipline by recording each and every transaction. Once when you will do any kind of e-banking or the e-transactions, definitely we use to make proper records of the transaction. So it make us discipline just to maintain the proper budget or budget and all. Greater customer satisfaction by offering ultimates access to the bank, not limited by the walls of the branch. Once if you are going to the branch and you have multi activities, just like you want to transfer money to different persons, if you want to open any kind of fixed deposit or the RD accounts, so for that you need to spend 3 to 4 hours in any bank. But if we are using electronic banking system or e-banking system, then definitely that work we can do within hours. Okay, e-banking provide competitive advantages to the बैंक. इससे क्या होता है, बैंक को भी benefit होता है. Unnecessary crowd or the burden on the branches can be reduced. E-banking provides unlimited network to the bank and is not limited to the number of branches. A branch has limited strength and very limited persons can be entered there. Okay, so with the help of e-banking, all the needs, all the requirements of any individual or the account holder can be fulfilled. Just like in present scenario in this novel COVID. Okay, so it's a really very danger to go to bank. So all the activities we can do by our home. And next, load on branches can be reduced by establishing centralized database and by taking over some of the accounting functions. So that is about the e-banking and their benefits.